Hey ladies, Desolator Magic here, and there is a fairly substantial update coming to the MTG Arena beta on August 16th. But first, I've got some good news for everyone. They just announced that they're sending out new invite emails with a license code basically to get in on the beta every single day. So no bi-weekly, no weekly batches, no, weekend, whatever. Oh, and no backlog, it sounds like. So like if you wanted to get in on the beta and you signed up today, theoretically in your inbox tomorrow should be an email with the information. And yeah, check it out. It's pretty good. Got a 7.5 out of 10 from me. And then I think I changed that 3 times and ended on a 7, but whatever. I mean, it's not like I don't have spare licenses too, so hit me up. So anyway, like I said, they're targeting the 16th of August for this update, so it'll be very, very shortly, but they said they might push it back because it's not like the new release of a set of cards or something. So it's flexible because, I mean, there's nothing special about that day, really. So they're changing the formats like they did last time. We're going to have quick play, competitive play, quick draft, competitive draft, and quick constructed. Now, they said, as I heavily suspected, quick constructed is the most popular by far. And they didn't seem to know why I do, though. It's because risking, 1,000 coins is like, damn, that's a whole pack. But if you're sitting on less than 1,000, but more than, 499, hey, let's play some quick constructed, see how you do. It made sense. I mean, the one time, and I do mean one time, that I did the, the competitive constructed, which is 2 out of 3 win, I don't know, 3 or something like that and get 1,000 coins or whatever, and it was like up 500 coins every tier. So I think you could win like 3 or 4,000 coins or something if you went like 5-0 or 5-2 or so. I don't remember how it worked. But people didn't like the risk. They didn't like the odds. If you got 1,000 coins sitting around, you're not going to enter another tournament. You're just going to buy a damn pack. That's arguable logic because, I mean, I'm really good at sideboarding, but boy, it took longer too. So I guess people just wanted the more modular, quicker, let's play quick constructed, which is single match, 500 entry, you could win up to 1,000. And they said, yeah, it's astonishingly popular. It's the #1 format by far. Now, I haven't done a draft, no idea how it works. Quick draft and competitive draft, no idea what the difference is. I assume it's single matches instead of 2 out of 3. I don't know. And so they're replacing with something just called competitive play, which is the best of 3 ladder. So you play, 2 out of 3, or first to 2, or however you want to phrase it, and then it's just a ladder. It's just rankings. It's what rank can you get to, silver 2, silver 3, gold, whatever. And they think, yeah, people who want to play with a sideboard and play more complex traditional Magic, they'll go for that, but it's not a whole tournament that you're dedicating to, and I think it'll be free. Not 100% sure. And then quick play is basically free play, I assume. I don't know why they're renaming it. They weren't terrifically clear about any of these details, by the way. So I said the 5 major formats, but there's going to be another one. And I believe that's what they were referring to when they said it'll rotate every weekend, unless they meant the events. Once again, not terrifically clear, but they did, say, hey, this is just like, hey, here's what we're doing, update video, whatever. You're supposed to go to something called, let's see, where did I write this down? Oh, they said all the details will be the day before in the state of the beta. Is that a video series? Is it a channel on YouTube? Is it on Instagram? Is it on some kind of blog? Is it on the forums? I don't know. They didn't link to it, and they didn't say, so can't be bothered to Google it, and I don't care. Oh, and also they encourage you to go to the forums and give them feedback. Didn't link to them, didn't tell you how to find it, didn't tell you what website they're on, so that's great. But get this, okay, so the big, number 6 slot is going to be filled by Pauper and Momir in the near future. Well, and obviously you guys know what Pauper is. It's just, all commons. No uncommons or rares unless they were at one point also printed as a common. And a bunch that were printed like 7 times as an uncommon and then in a pre-made deck as a fake common have to get banned from that format. But that's all-time Pauper. I assume this will be standard Pauper. But let's get into the one that you guys are probably like, wait, what did he say? Momir. Not Molinir. Momir. Yeah, as much as I'd like to see 2 of their pseudo-celebrities go bash each other in the face with a hammer, no, this is Momir. You start with a deck of 60 lands, all basic. I believe they're split evenly. So 12 of each type of basic land. And then you start as, I don't know, I'd say a pseudo-commander, but as soon as I say Vanguard, people are going to be very confused. Vanguard is a completely different card game. Oh, except that also there was another version of Magic called Vanguard. I'm no expert on the details, but basically it was like the precursor to Commander, where it was like always in play, and they had cards called avatars instead of commanders. I think they couldn't be destroyed. I think that's how it worked, and you could always activate their abilities, so it was like I don't know, pretty much any other like dueling game where it's like, I'm a wizard, I'm a ranger, I'm a warrior, and then they had like different things. So, it was like that, but for Magic. So you're like, oh, my, avatar, my commander is going to have this ability and I'll be able to use it whenever I want. So Momir is that, except everybody has the same avatar. And it's this like old Simic avatar card, I think, or whatever. I mean, I'm just breezing through this. If you want to look it up, just type in Momir or MTG, get all the details. Oh, by the way, it's called Momir because you use Momir Vig, the 11th guild leader of the Simic guild. So you start with 24 life because his ability is life modifier +4. And he has the ability pay X generic and then discard a card. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of a creature card with converted mana cost X chosen at random. Activate this ability only anytime you would cast a sorcery and only once each turn. So once per turn, you pay as much mana as you probably have into his ability. Let's say it's 4 mana, and then it automatically generates any 4-cost creature that's ever been in existence in the entire game. Obviously, this is an online-only format, or digital-only format, I should say. Unless you own one of every single card ever made and a really good 5,000-sided die or something, just basically, yeah, it won't work. So it started on MTGO. I don't know who invented it, and I don't care. Now I'm just going to take a wild guess that they're only going to include standard cards in this, which, it's not quite as fun then, but they also didn't waste their time designing the mechanics and code for every single card ever made in the entire history of the game, so it actually sounds reasonable. So you activate this for like 3, you could get any 3-cost, stupid vanilla creature, or some horrifically overpowered creature, or something with a fun ability or something, or like a flying angel. And then since you're drawing 5 different colors of lands, it's going to get really interesting because, well, basically, but by sheer luck, you might have enough mana to activate some kind of ability on some kind of creature. So normally, if you play this, you would need to know how every mechanic in the history of the game works, sparing some reminder text, I guess. But in just standard, I mean, yeah, you could get a dinosaur, you could get a vampire, so there's a lot of luck and very little skill, but there is still a lot of skill. I mean, it's very luck heavy, but you really have to know what you're doing and make proper decisions and know what every card does and how the stack works, how every ability works, how every keyword works. So it's high skill, high fun, low seriousness. That's how I would describe it. So it's an absolute riot. I think you can technically activate this for 0 and you'll get either like a Thopter or a Walking Ballista. I can't imagine what else would be costing 0 in standard right now, so you get 50-50 that. That whole discard a card thing though, that's just stupid because it's like, well, yeah, do you want to play the land, or do you want to do this, or have the most amount of lands and then just top deck another land and then do it? Do you want to get to 4 real quick, or just are you going to settle at 2, try and get that early game damage, or are you going to wait to see what your opponent does? So it's interesting. It should be just absolutely completely nuts. So in addition to Pauper and Momir being a thing for, I guess, a week, they're going to do events. So they didn't give out the timing or anything or the details. They just gave out the names. The first one will be, well, not even first. Like I said, they didn't give us the order, but one of them will be the exploration event. Maybe every Explorer goes off twice, or I don't know, maybe you are forced to play a random deck. It really could mean anything. And then the other one, this one's pretty blatant. It's called the Twice the Life event. I assume you start the game with double the life. So that'll be a riot, because, I mean, you'd almost, like, have to build another deck that's, like, more mid-range, long-term domination or control-heavy or something. I think that's the ploy. They'll get you to build another deck and buy more cards, buy more wild cards, get it. But hell, I'll go in there with my Flood deck. Why not? Hell, I'll go in there with my Life Gain deck. Here, let me just look into my crystal ball for a second. Yep, everybody's just going to play Aetherflux Reservoir and ruin it for everybody. All right, what a terrible idea. Maybe they'll ban that card from the format temporarily. I don't know. Who knows? So besides all this cool new stuff, they said game match errors that crash the game out. I mean, I've been seeing them occasionally. One of them, I started the game and then immediately just said, you drew. You two draw. Okay. All right. And then the auto tap improvements, the auto spending of mana. Hopefully they fix Shafet for God's sake. And then timer improvements to make the timer more fair. Hopefully stop people from stalling when they're not doing anything really. I don't know. It's always a balancing act between people legitimately trying to block 14 creatures and assign blockers that way, and people just being dicks and wasting your time, or people legitimately thinking. So there is no blanket solution, but they're tweaking it a little bit. And the last time they did, they made it way better. So I have confidence that they will not screw this up because they haven't in the past. And this whole team, the design of it from start to finish and the updates and the fixes, they know what they're doing. Unlike Oh my god, anybody else in a management position or in charge of any project ever at all of Wizards of the Coast in all of history. I'm not convinced that most of their important stuff is just a chimpanzee that they hand a dart to and he throws it at a balloon wall. Oh, pardon me, he or she. I did not mean to assume the monkey's gender. So yeah, that's it for the arena updates with what we know so far. So watch for some cool significant changes on August 16th, and I will see you guys next video.